Ooh wee. Okay, my apologies, folks. My apologies. Hope everybody's doing well today, and yeah, it's another video. And this one I've been wanting to do, and I feel like this is a very important one to honestly start off with and go for right now. I'm sorry, I'm just babbling. I'll say, if anything, this is probably one of the most important videos I could make because I've been wanting to share this information since I've learned it years prior, and I realizing honestly it's very life changing, you know. So getting into it right now, so I don't keep on rambling. My apologies. We're going to be going into the name of the Creator, the true name of the Most High, the meaning of His name, where it is located in Torah, and understanding. And oh my goodness, I didn't realize this was still on the screen. My apologies, folks. Okay. My apologies. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get into it. Disclaimer. I'm sorry. Every video I will do from now on, and I have done, will have these disclaimers. So keep that in mind. And also that I will be even doing. I'm gonna probably be doing some short videos as well, going into details about disclaimers. But continuing. I'm sorry. I gotta naturally have the rambling. Okay. Disclaimer. Cognitive cognitive dissonance. Mental disturbance people feel when their beliefs and or actions are challenged by new information or stimuli. This happening results in discomfort, disengagement, and or retaliatory actions and ideas. This often happens with Japheth's children in accordance to their blessing with Petha H1961 Strong's Concordance. And the secondary definition including to be deceived, persuade, to seduce, or be simple, to be deceived and naive. Okay, I realize I have to be deceived twice. That means to deceive. So they're deceptive, you know. Not all of them, but yeah. This meaning it is a natural inclination for them to do this. Not all, but it is often in the case of Gog and Magog, Scythians, as well as Javan, the Greeks, or Kittim, rewriting much of history. So, I'm sorry, folks. I gotta keep doing it because you look at all of the modern institutions in terms of learning, education, scholarly pursuits, you name it, they are ran more or less by Japheth's children. At least on the public level, you see them everywhere. They control all institutions of education, and that since they control them, they get to write in whatever lies they so choose to, and they want to. Now, this doesn't mean that Edom doesn't do it because they're no hidden black hand, of course. Edom, no, Moabites, Ammon, no Asher, not Asher, the Syrians, all that, you know. So Psalms 83, the hidden council, you know all that jazz. But more or less, the people who you often see the face of doing it the most, I hate to say it, it's them. You know, Japheth, they're notorious for doing this. So continuing, disclaimer again, societal conditioning. The sociological process of training an individual or individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved of by the society in general and with peer groups in the society. Well, just folks, it's yeah, like 9:30, so my apologies. I'm sleeping early. Uh, Manifestations of social conditioning can be categorized as social structures and patterns such as education, entertainment, nationalism, religion, popular culture, and family life. Remember that most of what we learned and will learn is revised history and a culture that is not our own, conditioned to think, feel, and react in a manner by the hidden councils and the serpent who seek to continue to expand upon our enslavement. This meaning again, we as a society in general, whether we are privy to it or not, have been socially conditioned to accept certain forms of information that is accepted by the general public that is formed by those who control the society. So if you got some, I'm going to try to keep it PG. If you got some very nasty, mean, evil people, controlling society, pardon me, they will shape society in a way that individuals within the society, when they're being trained, will only be receptive to certain forms of information that is generally accepted by the broader society. So you got, say, 10 people who are part of society, right? And you got this one big guy at the top. And he's an evil dude, and he only wants you to know about the certain information, and basically being raised from birth, only conditioned to think, react, and feel and understand information in this framework. You are going to be feeling that way regardless. You're going to feel that way, think that way, acknowledge and understand things in that manner, you can take things unless you can take a step back and look at things from a purely objective point of view and from a neutral standpoint. Otherwise, you are conditioned to think and regard information that isn't accepted by the general broader society as fact. So again, like people or the experts who write all these college papers and forums nowadays and all that jazz, they are part of the people who shape society. That no, I'm not trying to say colleges are indoctrination camps, but it's like that's not just colleges, because like even schools, media, television, it's like I say right here, social structures, patterns such as education, entertainment. Those two go hand in hand on how we are conditioned to receive and understand information. If all we see is that, for example, Afro peoples, oh, y'all all came from Africa, and we're conditioned to think this way for decades, if not going on a century even, children growing into teenagers who grow into adults will be having this level-minded sense of thinking that, well, I learned all this from a very young age, and I've been conditioned to think and understand information in this manner, so I'm going to go with it. Unless they have the proclivity to take a step back and ask questions, Because we even see it in popular culture. Like, I don't mean to go on a bit of a tangent, but it's like lately I've seen the fact that you got a lot of these quote unquote TikTok comedians going around making fun of the basically making fun and poking jokes and jabs at Hebrew Afro-Asiatic Israelites who are trying to at least find their original culture, and they're more or less being clowned for it. And it's like, see, that's an example of societal conditioning. Whoa, this dude is not following our societal conditioning. I've been conditioned and programmed to ridicule somebody who goes against the societal conditioning. They're going against the narrative. I am compelled to make fun of them. You get what I mean? So that's how they've conditioned the majority of us, unfortunately. Those who are actively seeking out the truth and wanting better understanding and information are actively ridiculed, and more or less they're no, I'm going to say they're essentially trying to be forced back into following societal conditioning or societal norms that's accepted by the broader sense, or the broader no the broader group of society. You get. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a random tangent, but it's like you see this everywhere. Societal conditioning is legitimately everywhere and appears great with cognitive dissonance. Because when you have something that questions and that more or less fundamentally breaks apart the societal conditioning in one person's mind, you get cognitive dissonance. I'm sorry, but they're both correlated. They're one and the same. They're correlated. We are conditioned socially by individual. As individuals, we are socially conditioned to understand and perceive information, feelings, thought forms, and frameworks throughout our entire lives, especially in our youth. It happens to all of us. I hate to say it, maybe not very few, but it's generally happens to all of us. So, yeah. Apologies for the random tangent. Let's get back on track to the video. I don't mean to rant. My apologies, folks. Well, again, we are discussing the true name of the creator. Speaking of the true name, oh, forgive me. Oh my goodness, forgive me. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, folks. This video is for those who know that many of us Afro-Americans are, and what our true history entails, as well as Gentiles who seek to become proselytes and dispel the lies of their fathers. Remember, we are here to help teach them and lead them along the path of righteousness. Now, I know that a lot of them, or a good chunk of them, honestly hate us. I get that part, but at the end of the day, were we not strangers in the land of Egypt? So those that are at least willing and want to learn, can't turn them away. So we gotta keep them, basically lead the way. Essentially, is what I'm saying. So continuing, this video is for those who call upon the true name of the Ishi Aloha, Aloha, Haya Haya, I am. His name in Hebrew and English. Search Strong's Concordance H1961 and Exodus 3:14. Any other name is blaspheming his great name, as he has warned us and our ancestors. If you can't get past these 3 slides, this video isn't meant for you. Disregard and leave. You aren't meant to. So, with the second part, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in terms of this video right here. Specifically, his name, his title, and what he is. As well as, again, we're going to be going into the Strong's Concordance to talk about this very part right here. So on to the next one. Video inspirations. Again, shout out Lex Will. He's been the first and only person, to my knowledge, to have shown and exactly explained what the Most High's true name is. There hasn't been any other person to deep dive and get to the root of what the name is like he has. Honestly, I've seen nobody else talk about this at all. So give my due props, due diligence. No, shout out Lex. Be sure to check out his channel and support him when you can. He deserves the credit and help, as he is always is teaching. As he is always teaching. I gotta honestly start proofreading my work and my writings. But yeah, I'm gonna leave his channel in the description just to y'all check him out. Like, if y'all really want some in-depth understanding and knowledge, and also just wisdom, check out Lex. He got it going. So check him out. That's all I'm saying. I learned this from him. And it made me do my own research, Now, video sources. So, the Torah, obviously. The Strong's Concordance. Every Hebrew Israelite and promising or aspiring proselyte should have a copy of the Strong's Concordance. Or at least at least have, preferably, the Strong's Concordance, because it's the most accurate and up-to-date one. But if not, just have a copy of the Strong's Concordance so you can at least follow. Or if you need to verify and cross-reference your information when you're doing your biblical studies, you should at least have a copy of it. Whether it's hard copy, preferably, honestly, hard copy, especially when the grid go down and all that, but preferably hard copy. Or if not, get a PDF. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, which is on BibleHub.com, going by the King James Bible for reasons I'll go into later, maybe not in this video, but in the next one. Wikipedia.com, and of course, Biblical Hebrew. So, the original language. On to the next. The value of his name. Now, the Most High is the author of truth, law, and righteousness. He gives forth wisdom and understanding to be just and of good heart. The last thing he'd ever do would be to give us, the children of Adam and Eve, contradicting names as to how we address him, and let alone to worship him and to praise him. So, continuing. For as much as we hold dear our names and for as much as we hold dear our names and demand to be known by, could we even imagine how he must view us in accordance to our number, the several dozens of names we call him or attribute to him. So it's like, I think it's pretty understandable to basically everybody that would preferably like to be called by their actual real name, because it's being called by your name properly is both a sign of respect and understanding from the other party to you, and it's the fact that people often probably get upset or mad at times and say you have a very unique name that's honestly hard to pronounce at times. It's you would at least want somebody to try to respect your name and the fact of trying to properly say it and actually addressing you correctly. So otherwise, just say you got somebody who knows what your name is, was purposely just calling you the wrong name. After a while, that gets frustrating. Also, honestly, it is disrespectful at some point. It's like, yeah, okay, you know what my name is, and you keep calling me this name. That's not my name. So, could we even possibly fathom how the Most High, not let alone feels, but thinks under? How we can't even begin to understand how he must, see us in that regards. Like, okay, there is billions of us here, and damn near almost all billions of them are calling him by the wrong name. Anything but his actual name. And so much so that his name is essentially hidden in plain sight. But again, due to societal conditioning and cognitive dissonance, we don't even acknowledge that and we keep calling him by the wrong name. And when you have billions of your own creation calling you by the wrong name, I can't fathom the amount of frustration or anger can be generated from that. So just think about that. Is all I'm saying. It's like just imagine the a level of disrespect and the frustration that he has to put up with from all of us. Maybe not us specifically in regards to this video and those watching it or wanting to learn, but just in general when it comes to Christians, Muslims, uh, the proxy Jews, and all of them, everybody essentially, calling them by the wrong name, or even in some cases also just misgendering him, because he clearly makes himself masculine. So it's just it can get pretty meta, is what I'm saying. So just imagine. It's hard to imagine because you can't imagine something that's infinitely in magnitudes above you, but you can at least conceptualize. That's gotta be really fucking frustrating, like really, you know. So going forth, the true name that he gives us upon Mount Sinai, Moses or Moshe, Hebrew, was instructed by the Ishi on the laws of the covenant, into which name we, as all the Israelites and other children of man, should call him by. So, if we have to, if all men have to follow the laws of the covenant, honestly, that would de facto mean that every single man alive and who has lived should be calling him by his proper name. If you got to follow the covenant or the laws of the covenant, you should call him by his actual name. It just makes sense. The correlation's right there. So uh, call him by in the book in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. So we know, or I'm going to show you, that I am that I am, or simply I am, translated into Hebrew or back into Hebrew, is Haya Haya. So basically, he's essentially saying, and God said unto Moses, Haya Haya. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Hayah hath sent me unto you. So straight up, that he says his name right there, clear as day, right there. And the name given to Moses was, I am that I am, I am, I am. This is what is rendered in this is what it is rendered in English as. But if you refer to the Strong's definition, Strong's Concordance, and roots of his name, we will see it listed as Haya Haya. Again, Haya Haya, properly written out. This can be found under the location number of H1961 within either the Strong's Concordance book or I have this backwards, but the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance used by BibleHub.com online. So you can find this in the book, or you could just literally look it up on your phone, laptop, computer, your internet capable device. You can look this up and you can find his name right there. Or again, you can just open up any Bible you have around you and you look up at the verse, chapter 3, verse 14. And either some will say like in other books, like the New International Version, like I am who I am, or I be that I shall be. It's all the same thing. I'm going by the King James Version specifically for he was an Israelite or a Jacobite, so it's like okay, that's what I'm going by. So I am that I am. That is his name. The Strong's Concordance. Now, what this is, I'm going to explain right now. A concordance is known as an alphabetical index of all the words in a text or corpus of text. It displays every contextual occurrence of a word. This is known as the most accurate and complete Strong's Concordance and exhaustive index of the Bible, and being the most up-to-date and precise source for words in terms of studies and research. The definitions in this book are applicable to nearly every version of the Bible and has both the Hebrew and Greek lexicons for reference. The definition of I am that I am will be found here along with the other roots of the so-called names. So all the other names that aren't his actual name, they just been plastered on by I don't know who or what, but I can only guess by of course the councils that that run the world, unfortunately, of course. So again, this is an index of all the words and names that you could possibly find in the book. Meaning, if you can't find, say you're watching whatever populist video or wherever have you, if you can't find something that doesn't accurately match up to the Strong's Concordance, something might be off, is all I'm gonna say. So it's invaluable to have something like this. Again, you could find this online, the Strong's Concordance book. You can go buy it, and I got mine off of eBay for like I think like $9, and I got it used because you could go buy it brand new, which might be a little pricier, but you could go find the used version. I mean, books are cheap, and it's better to have a hardcover book that, especially when times get tough, it's just good to have a hardcover. Is all I'm saying. So you can go find this, go buy it for cheap, or again you could download it online in the PDF, and you'll have it. It's widely available. It's one of those things hidden in plain sight, but damn near nobody knows about. So it's available. You can find it. Now, false and blasphemous names. Do okay? I forgot the the word T or the word two. Due to intermittent meddling and outright revision of the Bible by papal councils, such as the Council of Nicaea and Trent, and so on and so forth, all of the important facets of study, of all the important facets all the important facets of study, his name has been hidden in plain sight and painted over by a host of false names that bear no connection or resemblance. Names such as, oh, forgive me, Jehovah, Yahweh, Jehovah, the Tetragrammation, I think that's what they call that, YVWH, or wherever that is, have been placed over his actual name that should be known as Haya Haya. There is also the fact that due to the false testament being adjoined to the Torah by the heathens who follow the Prince of Hell, Iusis or Serapis has been plastered over it as well. I'm gonna make a video about that. It's gonna be probably a short video going to who this Prince of Hell is, the Prince of the People, the Greek who conquered the world and who founded Christianity. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. And of course, the False Testament is a giveaway because it's written in Greek, only in Greek. There's no Hebrew version of it, so yeah, yeah. I know I'm gonna go with this, but that's for another time. Right now, I'm talking about the Creator, the most important thing. Period. So getting back on topic, forgive me. Yeah. Primitive root. When researching the false name Jehovah, it will be indexed as H1961. According to the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance found online, it denotes that the name is derived from primitive roots H1961 Haya. So, you look up the origin of this name Jehovah and it will lead you back to Haya. And we know that upon Mount Sinai, the Most High tells Moses to call him by Hayah Hayah. So, where are they getting Jehovah from? Is or should be the actual question to biblical scholars and as well as Hebrew Israelites and proselytes. It's where did they get this name and why is this name even attached to the Most High? Because when he comes down to Moses, he doesn't say that, he doesn't call himself by that name. He don't call himself by that, so I don't know where they're getting this name from. This would ultimately result in the fact that Jehovah is clearly a name that is inherently false, as it is never mentioned by the Most High himself to Moses upon Mount Sinai at all. He does not call himself by that name. When he comes to Moses, when he appears to Moses upon Mount Sinai and tells him and teaches him the law and all that, not once does he mention, "Hey, my name's Jehovah." That's my. No, he says Haya Haya. Clear as day, I am that I am when you translate it properly. Otherwise, you would see it being translated into Jehovah, which it is not. It straight up says Haya Haya. So to be calling him by Jehovah or this, I'm gonna probably assume Yiddish. I could be wrong, but transliteration is Yahweh. He does not say either of those names to Moses, so I don't know where they got this name from. I don't know where this name came from. This could be one of the names made during the times of iniquity when Israelites were being wicked. Hence why he says, you blaspheme everywhere y'all went, you blasphemed my name. Everywhere they went, they blasphemed his name. Let me look that up real quick, actually, because I'm gonna tell. I should have put this chapter up, but I'm just gonna tell y'all, man. No, I can also research this yourselves. Everywhere, blasphemed my name. Again, y'all can look this up. Actually, it comes up in a lot of verses. I mean, Exodus 27, Deuteronomy 5:11, Leviticus 18:21, Proverbs 30:9, Leviticus 24:16. I'm gonna bring up this one actually specifically. Yeah. Moreover, the one who blasphemes the name of the Ishi shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall certainly stone him, the alien as well as the native. When he blasphemes the name, shall be put to death. Now that was a capital punishment back in those days, and nowadays, since we do live in Neo-Roman Babylon, Egypt, wherever you want to call this essential hell that we do live in, this is commonplace in every day that we blaspheme his name. Unfortunately, so keep that in mind. Another one, Ezekiel 20:14. But I acted for the sake of my name, and that it should not be profaned in the sight of the nations, for whose sight I had brought them out. So every time you call him a name that isn't his actual name, you're profaning his great name, and he says it clear as day. You know, more he actually says it repeatedly. I'm going to talk about that. I'm trying to find the exact when, but I don't think I can. Okay, I think it is Ezekiel 36:20. Let me go to King James. 36:20, I said. Yeah. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. And when they said to them, these are the people of the Ishi, and had gone forth out of his land. So, just keep in mind, every time you call him a name that isn't his actual name, you are profaning it and also committing blasphemy. Just keep that in mind. Again, if we take offense at our names being purposely misrepresented or pronounced or called incorrectly, imagine how he must feel about that. You know, because remember, all emotions do stem from him, and I can imagine them magnified upon infinitude. So keep that in mind. I'm just saying, keep that in mind. But back on topic, as is literally stated in Exodus 3:14, I'm gonna be repeating this several times, so y'all just have to deal with it. As is, not directly y'all to the audience, but to those who know they're purposely doing it, is what I'm saying. If y'all watching, y'all got a good idea of what y'all should do and what y'all shouldn't do. So just keep in mind. No slight towards y'all is all I'm saying. Like I'm just speaking in general. As is literally stated in Exodus 3:14, he tells Moses to tell the rest of Israel to call him by I am that I am, I am, I am, which is translated in original / biblical Hebrew as Haya Haya. He does not mention Jehovah, the tetragrammaton, Yahweh to Moses, nor does he refer to himself by those names either. So he does not refer to those names once at all. He does not. If he didn't say it to Moses in the beginning when he was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, and when he took Israel as an inheritance to himself, why would he? Why would? Because he says that these names are forever. We are to forever call him by this name. So again, I don't know where Jehovah came from, Yahweh or any of them other names, because he does not call himself by that name, and he straight up says later in the same chapter, this is my name forever, and it's unchanging for all generations. So it's like his name ain't Jehovah. It's not Yahweh. It's not the tetragrammaton. It ain't Yah, man. It ain't none of that. So again, where did this name come from? Should be the question asked by those who want to be righteous, who are trying to be righteous. Is where that name come from? Because his name is clear as day, Hayah Hayah. As clear as day, Hayah Hayah. That is his name. Confusion of the true name. As can be seen on the right image, the Strong's Concordance states that the name Jehovah is from Hayah. So y'all can see it right here. Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, Jehovah the Lord, from Hayah, the self-existent or eternal Jehovah, Jewish national name. So no, that latter part of the section right there, the whole Jewish. We know that Jewish people are Khazarians, and they are the proxies who've taken our identity. So no, we're not Jewish. If anything, they'd be Yehudeans, which is from the tribe of Yehuda, which is Judah, and they don't call themselves by that name. So those are not the people, and they're definitely not the tribe of Judah at all. So no, because it's like again, we just saw, or I'm going to show y'all again, and I just explained it. Talking to Moses, he says straight up his name is Hayah Hayah. You translate it back in biblical Hebrew, it is Hayah Hayah. So seeing it compared to Yah or Yovi or Yah, no, those are to mislead you and to confuse you. Because he straight up says his name, Hayah Hayah. It doesn't mention, he doesn't call himself, yeah, call me Yah Yah. He didn't say that. So, purposely misinformative. Disregard the Yah shit, disregard the Yovi shit, the Jehovah, disregard that, because that is not his name. He doesn't even call himself that. Imagine on Judgment Day, you go up, you meet him, and you are to be judged. You look up, and the first mistake that you do is say, hey, yo, what's going on, Jehovah? That's how you get erased. That's how you hear the words, depart from me, and you're gone. You know? So just keep that in mind, is all I'm saying. Don't do that. Or actually, you could just stop beforehand, and you could stop right now by calling him these false names, because this is not his name. at all. Not his name. Keep that in mind. When you do compare the names Yah and Yoveh, it goes back to Haya. So even if you click on the links and look up where the names, where those other inserts go to, it goes back to Haya. So why not just call him by his name, Haya Haya, as he just straight up told Moses? He's not the author of confusion, he's the author of truth. So he's going to tell you straight up, and he's going to be honest. Honesty is truth. His name is Haya Haya. He's not here to confuse you. Why would he even do that? You know? So again, these are inserts meant to, one, cause you to fall into iniquity, into wickedness, and to fall away from righteousness by calling them these names and going down a wicked path, because it starts that. Also, I mean, it's important to know what proper name to call upon them by in the day of our trouble, because I'm pretty sure there was a video way back that me and the boys had seen about some Hebrew Israelite who's calling upon some, I think it was Yeshua or some crap like that, and getting beat up by the cops, and he ain't get saved at all. He just got beat. So yeah, keep that in mind, that the day of trouble comes and you're calling upon a name that's not his name. He ain't gonna help you, because he's not gonna. He doesn't even acknowledge that name. So I mean, keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. That it's not his name. His name is Haya Haya. Plain and simple. Remember that the Most High tells Moses his name is I am that I am, which is Haya Haya, not Yah at all. He didn't come down and say, my name is Yah or Yovi Yovi. They ain't say, they just straight up says Haya Haya. You translate it, you will see that. So this Yah shit makes no fucking, no, forgive me, pardon my language. This Yah name makes no damn sense. This Yovi thing makes no damn sense. And this Jehovah thing makes no sense. I gotta stop saying that. I'm trying to keep PG. My apologies, folks. My bad. My bad. Trying to age appropriate. Yeah, video. My bad. My bad. But anyway, none of those names are his names, because he didn't come down and tell Moses, "This is my name." He straight up says, "My name is Haya Haya. Go tell the Israelites that is my name, and that is my name forever." Simple as that. Like just simple. It is that simple. Next slide. Exodus holds the key. The Ishi states that his name is I am that I am to Moses, which is originally and literally Hayah Hayah. He does not mention Yah, Yovi, or Jehovah at all. He further emphasizes that his name is I gotta start proofreading my my words. Oh my goodness. He further emphasizes that his name is forever and unchanging for all generations. Where do you see any other name? You don't. Now, I have this, I want the screenshot and I pulled it up. Exodus. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? So you see how our previous ancestors had asked that very important question, What's his name? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. So we know that I am is Haya. And he says unto Moses, I am that I am, Haya Haya, that's his name. So, and God said, Moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So he never changed that name. So calling him Jehovah when he straight up calls himself Haya Haya, that's a false name, incorrect. Calling him Yah is a false name, which is incorrect. Calling him Yovi is a false name, which is incorrect. And calling him that tetragrammation name, wherever that is, incorrect. Or calling him Yahweh, incorrect. He doesn't say any of these names. He made it painfully simple, and I can, to a very minute fragmentational extent, I can understand the frustration because he made it very simple of what name to call him by. He says simply, Haya Haya, that is my name. So you don't see anything else there. You don't see any other name but Haya Haya, which is translated as I am. Because I am doesn't translate to Jehovah or Yahweh or Yovi or Yah. It doesn't translate to any other name. So why are we even calling him these names when his name is simply Haya Haya? Keep it simple, folks, is all I'm saying. This is simply his name. If you fail to understand this, that's on you, and you will deal with that on that forthcoming day. Cause that's it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. So his name is Haya Haya. It's plain and simple. His one true name. Getting into the more simple parts of it. H1961 Haya. Strong's Concordance, to fall, come to pass, become, be. Transliteration, Haya. Phonetic spelling, Haya. Well, you could see, you could either say Haya or Hayah Hayah. Either one actually does work. I mean, it's still his name, you know. Haya Haya, Hayah Hayah. That's regardless. That's his name. Again, that is his name, and it is a primitive root, meaning it is the first. So we should be going by the first root, the first definition of what his name actually is. Then we compare it to, or we see where Jehovah comes from, Haya, but we know that he didn't come down and call himself Jehovah. He came down, not my bad. He didn't come down. He appeared to Moses on Mount Sinai. Forgive me, I have to correct myself. He appeared to Moses on Mount Sinai and said, "My name is Haya Haya." You don't see Jehovah. You don't see Yah. You don't see Yahweh. You don't see any other name. So seeing these names, I sound like a broken record at this point. This is his name, simply put, and that is it. So this honestly, this can't be argued, because like you could look this up for yourself. Like I have this shown on screen for you, but you could look it up yourself straight up. Look it up for yourself if you want to, and you will find it there. If you are still feeling some type of way about it, then quite literally, this is not for you, and I'm sorry, but that's it. It gets no simpler than this. This is his name. Haya Haya, Haya Haya, that's his name. That is his name. It is that simple. Now, we're going to talk about why we should be calling him the issue instead of the Lord. This change of title. In the full context of the chapter of Hosea 2, I should have put that, it refers to the punishment of Israel as a whole it refers to the punishment of Israel as a whole initially, and then its redemption by the Most High. Pardon me. At this point, Israel was seen as a nation that had gone in wickedness and sought after strange gods. So, worshiping, following, all that stuff. To signify the redemption of Israel, he instructs us to call him by the Ishi in the place of Baali, Lord. Since we are in spiritual union in accordance to him, the Most High, and the title change reflects that. So, when you look up what Baali means master, whereas Ishi means husband. So we are in a sense in a spiritual union with the Most High now. We are, So the child change reflects that, and also the fact that, again, if you had Israelites all throughout history profaning and blaspheming his great name, they would do the same thing to his title and to what we should address him as, the Ishi Haya Haya, as opposed to, the Lord God. So you get what I mean? So instead of calling him the Lord, we should be referring to him as the issue. Because that he instructs us to do so, to reflect upon the spiritual union that we have now with him. So keep that in mind. That's what we should be calling him by. You know, it should be the Ishi Haya Haya, not the Lord Haya Haya. It should be the Ishi Haya Haya, to reflect that change, and also us understanding that. Again, following instructions. That's all we got to do. It's simple. That's all we got to do is just listen, read, and understand. It's one thing to know a lot of information, but it's one thing to understand that information. Wisdom and intelligence. You gotta pray for that wisdom. It's important. So, oh yeah, actually, I'll read it too. And it shall be at that day, saith the Ishi, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. So he says, don't call me Lord anymore. Just call me Ishi. For I will take away the names of Balaam out her mouth, her being no Israel, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. So eternal peace afterwards. And I will betroth thee unto me forever, yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the issue. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the issue. I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. So we should be referring to him as the Ishi, plain and simple. Simple as that. So on to the next. Now, him being the God of gods. Now, everybody knows what Elohim is. Everybody's heard about it. Everybody knows what Elohim is and all that. But I don't know if it's, having learned this from Lex, I don't know if it's commonly known that there's also a word called, or a word known as the Elohah, or the Eloah, So the Elohim being plural and meaning angels. You look it up, you will see the definition of strong exhaustive concordance as angels. And it's plural. And also you can see it right here in the translation below. Divine, divine being, exceedingly God, God, gods, goddess, and for obvious reasons. Godly, gods, great, judges, mighty, rulers, and shrines. So it's a plural word for the term gods, so meaning angels or sons of God. Hence Elohim, hence why they have their own creation, which is the serpent. So yeah, keep that in mind. Whereas the Most High, he should be referred to as the Eloah, and it's single, meaning just God or God. And you look at the translation below, it just means God, God, or gods. It's meaning it's quite literally referring to him as the Eloah. So he's not an Elohim, he is the Eloah above the rest, because he is the father of them. Hence why he is the God of gods. Keeping that in mind, and how we should refer to him as, or address him as, So keep that. That's what it is. What he is. The Elo. He is above the rest. Hence the term, the literal term, the Most High. You know. Keeping that in mind and going forward. Well, yeah. Conclusion, honestly. So, with all the information being presented, we can assuredly say and acknowledge it. Oh man, I did not type that right. Whoops, my bad, folks. With all the information being presented, we can assuredly say, acknowledge, and understand what the true name of God is, Haya Haya, that's what his name is, as well as his title and how we are to humbly and properly call him and to pray, and as well as to worship him. Any other so-called name is effectively blasphemy. Blasphemy or just doing that in the day was a capital offense, so keep that in mind. What he would do to us, especially on the day of judgment. Keep that in mind. An example I usually go to, use to properly call, pray, beg, worship, or thank him would be, "O my Ishi Eloah, Haya Haya, I pray to thee, Ishi Eloah, Haya Haya. Thank you, O Ishi Eloah, Haya Haya." Those three are just the ones I personally like to use or go by, with this understanding that this is his name, that's his title, and that's what he is. His title being the Ishi, him being the Eloah, what he literally is, and Haya Haya being his actual name, breaking it down. So, at least for me, this is how I refer to him as, whether I'm praying, or worshiping him, or thanking him, or just, in a sense, talking, I guess. This is how I address him. And I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, or this is the proper way to do it, but I think I'm using it in this proper manner, At least, y'all will learn to figure out a way to do it for yourselves, or you just understanding and praying upon and reading to them. But this is just something I like to use. I'm not saying y'all have to use this way, but this is the way I just go by using, and I find it, or I like it, and I think at least it resonates with me. Hence why I go by using it. So I thank the Ishi Aloha Haya Haya for everything that I do have and that I am thankful for. And I give him my glories, praises, and barakah to the Ishi Aloha Haya Haya. That's the quick example right there. I'm being genuine, but quick example. So yeah. His name is Haya Haya. Just keeping it back on track though. That's his name, title, the Ishi, and what he is, the Eloha. The Eloah. Yeah, I gotta get used to saying that more. But yeah. That's what he is. That's his also that is his name. He does not call himself by any other name. And he straight up says to Moses, "My name is Haya Haya, and that is my name forever and for unto all generations." So any other name that you see or that he's called by other people or other nations is not his name, blasphemous, and it's profaning his name, which is a very serious matter. Because again, think to how we feel about somebody purposely calling us the wrong name when we have told them and let them know that this is what my name actually is. We'd feel some type. So imagine how he feels, or what do you think we get that feeling from? Like quite literally, like we are one made in his image, and we have soul given to us by him, an infinitely small but nonetheless a fragment of the Most High within us that gives us emotion and understanding. Get that from him. So it's like, yeah, imagine that. You know, just think about that. That's all I'm saying. So again, his name is Haya Haya. Plain and simple. It gets no more simpler than this. This cannot be argued. I'm sorry, you can't debate this. This is literally what his name is. And that's his name forever on top of that. So, if you really want to be a true Hebrew Israelite, I shouldn't say it like that, but if you really want to do right and to be honestly righteous, the first thing you gotta start by is calling him by the right name. And the only name he has given us that is correct. Now, Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham probably knew him under a different name, but that's them. That's not us. The name he gave us is what we should be calling him forever. Same thing with the title and what he actually is. Because he didn't come down to tell Moses, my name is Yahya, or Yah, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, or Yovi, or the Tetragrammaton. He ain't say none of that. He just straight up says simply, Haya Haya. So, if you sat there and watched this video, you know his name, and you should know to refer to him as his actual name. Such as the Most High, Haya Haya. You could just call him that simply, too, for that matter, actually. You just call him that, Just call him by his actual name. Now, also, of course, following the commandments, the laws of the covenant. Of course, if you want to be righteous, call him by the proper name. Follow the laws accordingly. And pray, and just be righteous as you can be. So all you got to do is really, well, there's more, of course, always, but most importantly, that's what you got to do. It's that simple. Because to be calling him anything else is blasphemy. It's profaning his great name. and he's destroyed civilizations over that. Keep that in mind, you know. Or this is also probably one of the things that was happening rampantly before the flood. And he gave them 127 years to repent, and they did not. Book of Jashir. And they did not. So you can only imagine. Just think about it, is all I'm saying, you know. Call him by the proper name. This is his name. And it is a proper name. That's all I'm saying. Anything else, not his name. And also the fact that his name is in cities that were inhabited by us, such as Hayah Hayah, over in I think it was Thailand. Hayah Hayah is where Thailand is. I think it is. I think Cambodia. It's one of those two, but over in Asia. So again, his name. I just can't emphasize that enough. What his name is and how important it is to call him by the right name, especially in our day of trouble, and also just day to day. You know, if you just want to thank him, thank the Most High, Haya Haya. Thank the Most High, Hayah Hayah. You just call him by his proper name and just thanking him. You know, the reason why we breathe every day, why we continue to exist. Because if you really think about it, he does something that we really do take for granted, or many things that we take for granted that he does. Anyways, he remembers all of our names and who we are, for he knew us before we were in the womb. So just think about that. He knows the name of every single person and everybody. I'm not saying we should know everybody's name because we just don't got the capacity, but we should know the name that actually matters most. You know, and it's only one name if you think about it, just one name that we just gotta remember. Following the Torah, only the only true testament, not first but true testament because it's the first one, it's the only one. The Torah, the Tanakh, and his actual name. That's it. Call him by the right name, and things will get better for you. Be righteous on top of that, and things will improve greatly. Just remember those things. Just remember. And if you're feeling some sort of cognitive dissonance or societal conditioning breaking, or watch this video again or disregard and leave. Because I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to fight. It's that simple. This is his name. You've seen the evidence and information presented to you. That's it. That is it. And also another example is think about it this way as well. Consider this. Every time he is addressing or not addressing, every time he decides to speak to a prophet or an important patriarch, he's always saying, I, the Lord God, am talking to you. Or I am the Lord God. With this new understanding, after watching this video that you've just seen here, right here, is you can interpret that correctly as Haya, the Ishi, has sent you, or Haya, the Ishi, or Haya, the Ishi Eloha, the Eloah. Think about it that way instead of I am the Lord God. Haya, the Ishi Eloha. Think about it that way, because that's the correct way. Haya, Haya Haya. That's his name. His great, glorious name. His great name. Okay. Just keep that in mind, you know. And yeah, future topics and projects. The Israelites and Ickabites of China, Part 2, Gemini and Images. I'm gonna still gotta do that. It's gonna be a short one. It's definitely gonna be shorter than this one, probably like maybe 30 minutes or so. And ideas for Remnant Second Exodus. I definitely am gonna probably do a collab with Tamari and Terrell for that one. It'd be nice. And Kingdom of Cartley, Georgia, in the English acts in the English and Anglo. I butchered that. Oh my goodness, forgive me. Ooh, Shangdi and the Jade Emperor possibly being God in ancient China. Or really saw a documentary that really just took me for a spin. It was very interesting. Preparation for the wilderness and the gate to the south. So summing that up quickly is like going out to like the west, somewhere in the desert over there, in the nearby the four corners, more than likely. South America. And from there, so to Asia. Bang boom bop, something simple, simple. Maybe. Identities of Shem, Saim, lies of Japheth, Japheth, and Ham's Cham wickedness. That actually might be the next one I do work on aside from the Israelites of Asia. That one, because that's I really want to do a video on that. But just wrapping it up. All right, that's basically it though. So just remember uh, what the name is. The Most High, the Ishi, Eloah, Haya Haya, is how we should properly pray to Him, call upon Him, beg Him, worship Him, and thank Him. Because again, He remembers all of our names. All we have to do is just remember His one and only name. And that should be relatively simple to do. It's not hard, you know. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, blessings and gratitude to those who watched the video. May you have a wonderful and blessed day and or night I should say, because I'm gonna upload this. But yeah, yeah, I'll be all right. Blessings and thank you. And y'all have a good one. Boop.